Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're literally turning back the clock to look at one of the most beloved sitcoms in television history, Friends. I mean, for 10 incredible seasons, these 6 characters gave us so much warmth, laughter, and just this overwhelming sense of comfort. We all remember that iconic original ending, right? The tearful hugs, the 6 keys left on that kitchen counter, and that perfect closed circle that promised a new, happy beginning for everyone. It was exactly what we wanted. But what if we took a completely different path? Okay, let's dive into this. It's a thought experiment, but it's a fascinating one that completely changes the entire DNA of the show. So what if Friends didn't have a happy ending? I want you to imagine an ending that mimics the messy, unresolved nature of real life. An ending not of perfect closure, but of distance, uncertainty, and people quietly drifting apart to just become strangers. The differences here are just staggering. On one hand, we have our original ending, those warm hugs, the keys on the counter, and just complete emotional resolution. It's like a comforting blanket. But contrast that with this alternate path, distance, uncertainty, and becoming strangers. It highlights a really stark contrast between the comforting fantasy that television usually promises us and the quiet, sometimes painful reality of life where people just, well, they just drift apart. Part 1. The illusion of closure and emotional resolution. Part 2. Rachel chooses Paris, an alternate path. So, picture the legendary airport scene, but rewritten. Ross is at the gate, after finally putting his heart on the line. He just stands there, and he waits. And he waits. The dramatic tension in this alternate universe is almost suffocating as he stands entirely alone, hoping against hope to hear footsteps behind him. But she doesn't come back. Man, it is an absolute emotional gut punch. Rachel actually gets on the plane. And the absolutely crucial point here is that she doesn't do this because she stops loving Ross. No, she does it because, for once, she chooses herself. Throughout the series, Rachel transformed from someone entirely depending on her dad and her friends into a woman who built her own identity. Leaving for Paris completes that arc of independence perfectly, even if it shatters our hearts. Ross watches the plane disappear. There's no dramatic music, no triumphant kiss, just quiet acceptance. Suddenly, television's most famous love story becomes something deeply bittersweet. It's not failed, it's just unfinished. Maybe they talk years later, maybe they don't, but they move forward. Part 3. The Weight of Suburbia from Monica and Chandler. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it frames their exit from the city. In the original ending, leaving was filled with overwhelming hope. But let's contrast that with the heavier, encroaching struggles of suburban life. Look at these new realities: stress, parenthood, less time together, and, critically, fewer friends. For years, their relationship thrived because their world was centered around the group's constant energy. Now, replace that energy with just exhaustion. There is a profound sadness to this realization. And actually, scratch that. It's not about a disastrous divorce or a dramatic falling out. It's just something quieter. Love alone doesn't automatically preserve who people used to be. Monica misses hosting everyone. Chandler misses making jokes that people actually hear. They still love each other deeply, but they're mourning the loss of the version of life they honestly thought would continue forever. Part 4. The silence of staying and being left behind. Honestly, this might be the most devastating alternate fate of all. While everyone else moves on, the original Joey had a future that stayed wide open with endless possibilities. But this alternate Joey, he's in the exact same apartment, going to the exact same coffee shop, but experiencing a completely different, hollow silence. He is the only one remaining in their old haunts. Joey spent a decade surrounded by people who became his literal family. Without them, his signature playful optimism starts to feel a whole lot more lonely. He still auditions, he still believes things will work out, but for the first time, nobody is there to laugh with him. It flips the script entirely, making the funniest character on the show the most heartbreaking emotional center of this alternate reality. Part 5. The Real Happy Ending. Embracing Change. And this brilliantly illustrates a surprising twist. Oddly enough, Phoebe would adapt the best to this. She understands a quiet truth. Sometimes friendships end simply because people get busy. It's not a fight, it's just life. I mean, look at how they changed each other. Ross became braver. Rachel became independent. Monica softened. Chandler opened up. Phoebe found belonging. And Joey found a family. The true value of the show was never about them staying together forever. It was about how profoundly they transformed each other. When you view it through that lens, the final image of that empty purple apartment completely changes its meaning. It's no longer a symbol of sad departure or loss. It becomes a monument to growth. The message isn't that love fails, the message is that life changes. Dreams evolve, coffee shops close, and we become better people because of those who walked beside us for a while. Alternate endings like this one are so powerful. They strip away the fairy tale to show us the beautiful, bittersweet mechanics of human growth, and ultimately, they make us appreciate the comforting ending we actually got even more. So I want to leave you with this provocative question to ponder. If Friends didn't have a happy ending, whose alternate story would break your heart the most? Take a moment, reflect on everything we just explored, and let that question really sink in. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.